Jarno Opmeer is a three-time F1 Esports World Champion.
And Jarno Opmeer will cross the line and take the win. But for the third time in championship history, it's Jarno Opmeer. He is the sim racing world champion.
And this is the story how Jarno Opmeer won his third F1 Esports title. Jarno's F1 Esports journey started on the F1 2019 game with the Renault Vitality Esports team, and in his debut season Jarno managed to secure 4th place in the Drivers' Championship, claiming 5 podiums including 1 victory at the Hockenheimring in round 7 of the season.
Congratulations, your first ever win!
Yeah, thank you. It was perfect qualifying and then perfect strategy executed.
But then in 2019 the COVID pandemic hit and we'd be entering a new era of the Pro Series. Everyone racing at home from their own rig, no LAN event, we leave the Gfinity arena, and that's when Jarno Opmeer decided to leave the Renault Esports team and sign with Alfa Romeo Racing for the F1 2020 game, which ended to be a great move as he was able to win the championship by 22 points in front of Freddie Rasmussen, claiming 8 podiums and 4 wins due to strategical masterclass on the alternate strategies, always being able to fight through the field late on. So then, with the F1 2021 game, Jarno decided to leave Alfa Romeo and join the Mercedes F1 Esports team, claiming 7 podiums and 4 wins, and ultimately winning his 2nd champion again in front of Freddie Rasmussen, back-to-back champions, and he was now the only 2-time champion alongside Brendan Lee. But then a few years passed and we head to 2025, and with a new game coming out, F1 24, handling has changed, and Opmeer having decided to join the Red Bull F1 Esports team this season shaped up to be one of the most competitive and best seasons esports has ever seen. So kick back, grab some popcorn and relax as we're about to delve into the story how Jarno Opmeer won his 3rd F1 Esports title. A quick note for people that haven't watched F1 Esports: qualifying is hugely important as it's a DRS train the whole race, which makes it very difficult to overtake. So a bad qualifying is very costly and it's very difficult to get back in the race. But without further ado, let's head to the season opener in Australia.
We're going to see 3 big shocks because it's Opmeer and Buckley and Longe, along with Tormala and Denoso, who are out in the second part of qualifying.
So having qualified P11 was not the start he had hoped for, but once again Jarno pulled it back in the race on the alternate strategy from the hard to the medium tire. When he rejoined after his pit stop, he found himself down in P18 with 14 laps to go and everything to do, but his strategic expertise made it work, and a little incident by Thomas Ronar at the end helped him as well, as you can see here. So with that incident, Jarno managed to claim a 4th place in the season opener with 13 points, and in previous seasons you'd need to average over 16 points to win the championship, but this season was so competitive, so many drivers competing for high level points, that 12.8 points was eventually enough to win the championship. So with momentum on his side, could Jarno keep this going for the rest of event 1, 2 and 3? Let's head to the next race. So the second race at China, Opmeer managed to qualify 3rd, which is exactly what he needed. An interesting qualifying, apparently affected by slipstream, but then nonetheless in the race Opmeer managed to defend from Thomas Ronar on the last lap and came home to took his first win of the season, first win with Red Bull, and in the end that promoted him to the championship lead, now equal on points with Ismail Fassi, but he had to keep it going if he wanted to keep his championship hopes alive. So we head to Bahrain and he finished in 5th place there, and at Jeddah he finished in 2nd place, just 0.003 of a second behind race winner Otis Lawrence, and he was now trailing Ismail Fassi in the championship lead by 4 points, so he had to go for it in the second event to get as close as he can and prepare himself for the third event. So in the second event we raced at Silverstone, Spa, Zandvoort and Texas, which weren't optimal tracks, as he finished 9th, twice in 6th and once in 3rd, which was really not good, as he was now trailing the championship leader Thomas Ronhaar by 10 points heading into the last event. Could he flip it round and make it his championship? Let's head into the last 4 races of the F1 2025 esports season. So round 9 was held at the Mexican Grand Prix circuit and Opmeer finished 5th, but once again Ronhaar made a bit of a mistake which gifted Opmeer 2 positions around the outside of turn 1. And then in the next 13 laps towards the end of the race, he was able to get the lead and keep it, which he took. So he took a vital win, first win of the 3rd event, which really helped him boost his momentum. And then next up we went to Brazil. Now this was probably the most insane qualifying session we've had in F1 Esports, so enjoy it for yourself.
Yes! Oh my word, he did exactly the same time, but he did it second. Josh Eno! Josh Eno! Longue finds himself to 4th, he can't get there. Edu's done it by 9,000ths of a second, identical lap time. But Ronhaar has 2nd place because he set the time first. Otis Lawrence, Jarno Opmeer, the man who's always quick in the races. The same time again! How can this be frozen? What is going on? Haas on pole! And here comes Thomas Ronhaar to try and spoil the Haas party. Hey, he got it in the last! Thomas Ronhaar with provisional pole.
And that insane qualifying was followed by an insane race, as we had a wet to dry to wet race, and the 2 Red Bulls eventually came out on top. As you can see, Jarno Opmeer took another win, back-to-back wins in event 4, the perfect event he could have hoped for so far, putting one hand on the championship trophy. Could he keep this up for the last 2 rounds at Qatar and Abu Dhabi? Let's head into them. So for the penultimate race, we went to Qatar and Opmeer qualified 8th, finished in 5th. Not a 3rd win in a row, but still a very decent result, and he was leading the championship by 21 points heading into the last race ahead of Thomas Ronhaar. All he would need is 6 points to win, so P7 to win his 3rd Drivers' Championship. Could he do it? The race is very, very interesting, so let's head into it for one final time of this video.
We have 1 corner to go. He's down! He's down! Jarno Opmeer's off the road. Jarno Opmeer's out. He's out in Q2. What nearly happened in Q1 comes
So
to
this
pass.
was the worst
He might have
possible
been
outcome.
16th,
Jarno
escaped
down
that
in
one.
14th,
He will
while his
have
championship
14th
rival
for the
Thomas
race where he
Ronhaar
could
qualified
be
on
a
pole
3-time
position
world champion.
for the last race. So it was all or nothing in the last race. Thomas went in with that mentality. So let's see what unfolded in the last race of the 2025 F1 Esports World Championship.
It is time to crown a champion. We're underway and racing to turn number 1. Ronhaar's got a good start, but Freddie Rasmussen's got a better one, and he takes the lead on the medium tyre. That would have given him a better launch off the line. Medium Red Bull gets ahead of Hard Kick Sauber, and then it's Otis Lawrence in 3rd, Nicholas Longue in 4th. A lot of pressure from Longue.
As you can see here, on lap number 8, Longue goes for a move, and Thomas Ronhaar runs into the back of Otis Lawrence, and he actually got wing damage from that. He lost his right hand end plate, and that was pretty much where he would have then ended up losing the championship, because with wing damage you lose maybe half a second a lap depending on the track, and in esports, I mean, you're basically the slowest on track at that point. And yeah, that pretty much threw away the championship very early on in the race. He had to win it, and it was basically impossible to win with damage. Completely unheard of. So yeah, he tries his best, as you see here. Opmeer goes past fair and square, 4 laps to the end, and then on what happens next, I've already stated my opinion in a previous video. I won't comment on that because that was on Thomas Ronhaar and not on Jarno Opmeer. Bit of an oversend, as you can see here. Breaks his other end plate as well. But as I said, no opinion on that. Go check out my other video if you want to know my opinion. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Jarno ended up winning because of Ronhaar being a bit too greedy, I feel like. So yeah, Opmeer crowned himself a 3-time world champion.
In championship history, it's Jarno Opmeer. He is the sim racing world champion. Jarno Opmeer, a 3-time champion of the world.
which I think is fully deserved. It's been an insane season yet again. Even when he's qualified poorly, he's come back in the race. His racecraft and race pace is just unmatched. So congrats to you, Jarno. A third title, well deserved, and I hope we see you back soon.